There's
Why
slightly
didn't
worse
they
than that,
pre-vote?
but we
They
don't
were
talk about it.
because they didn't pre-vote and they didn't vote. So that's why it tied. And that's why
They
we have
didn't.
two winners.
They didn't. Yeah.
but they
We're
were like
streaming.
salty or something?
We're streaming. We
Oh,
can we
sorry.
can talk about it after.
My bad.
Let me send this to the appropriate places. Yeah. Oh, where it is. All right. Hello and welcome to your final four tribal council of Distortion Survivor. We will start with B. Usually I'd ask you to explain the challenge, but we're at final four, so I kind of just want to hear your thoughts going into this round. You're immune. You got a near perfect score. I just want to hear what your thoughts are coming into this tribal council.
About time I won immunity in this motherfucker shit. But honestly, this tribal council is really tough. I respect each and every one of these guys. Like I adore them. I've played with each of them in some capacity in this game. So it gets harder each round to make a decision as to who needs to go. I did make I did make a decision. We were well for my vote. I was, transparent because I think it's like no point in stringing people along at this stage in the game or trying to, you know, blindside or anything like that's just like corny. That's like done and like I respect everybody too much. So, um yeah, it was a tough vote. It was probably the hardest one I had to do this game. Um or that I'm going to have to do, I should say. But it's got to be done. So, yeah, love you guys.
All right, we did have someone ask for you to explain the challenge. So can you explain the challenge, B?
Hey, yes, I will explain the challenge. So it was called Face Morphs, and they basically took all 16 cuties of Distortion Thrilltopia and morphed two people's faces together. And, some of them were giving and some of them not so much. I feel like, I was morphed with Logan. It looked like Logan, but with better skin because, he had my clear skin. So, but it was like, it was a pretty funny challenge. I had a good time. And yeah, I paid attention to how people looked, and I almost that was the only one that tripped me up was the Logan one because I was like, this is just Logan with a filter.
All right, let's move to Marvin. Marvin, like I explained, is this is the final four tribal, so it could go usually it goes one of two ways. It goes either 3-1 or 2-2. And so I just want to hear your thoughts going into this tribal because even though there are limited options, we're still at the end game of this of distortion.
So what exactly is the question?
How are you feeling about the round, Marvin, with the limited number of combination of votes?
So, I mean, like you said, there's only two possible outcomes here because it's not someone's not going to self vote, so there's no way it's going to be a 4-0. But who knows? Some people are chaotic like that and prefer to self vote for some odd fucking reason. But when it comes down to it, it's like it's hard. It's hard. Like B had stated, it's hard because I have played round and round after round after round with all three of these individuals, and obviously having to go for either Chris or Sam, it's hard because we've had essentially worked each other throughout the whole entire game. We've had bumpy roads here and there, but we all managed to get here. This is definitely one of the harder votes for me as well. And at the end of the day, if it's a 2-2, it's a 2-2. If it's a 3-1, well, it's a 3-1. But I guess we won't know until all those votes are counted on those parchments or pieces of paper per se.
All right, let's move to Sam. Now, Sam, again, I've brought it up in a lot of these tribal councils, but obviously, since the final nines that you guys have merged, every person's been voted out has been put in the jury. So I just want to know what your thoughts are now at the final four, what do you think the jury is looking for in a winner?
I think the jury looking for someone that's played an adaptable game, someone that's played a respectful game, someone that's made moves when they've needed to, um, someone that deserves to represent this season.
All right. And Chris O, again, we are at the final four. I just want to kind of hear your thoughts about what you think might or might not be happening tonight. I just want to kind of hear from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem that makes I think Final Four very stress or not like stressful, but like very emotionally like difficult is the fact of like there's nothing to really hide behind anymore. There's no more idols in play. There's no more paranoia of that. It's all just based on relationships, and sometimes it's not even necessarily about like how much you trust someone or how much you like someone. It's you're looking down at the you're looking down the barrel at the end of the game. It's you have limited options. You have to believe in what you're hoping for will happen at the end, and it makes things, the vote is obviously very important, but it's very difficult to express why you feel one way might be better than another way. And since for everyone other than B, we only have two options, and it obviously like weighs heavily on us. And I was similar to B, where it's like I didn't want to. I've said this for a while, and I still believe it that I want to play this game for fun, and I want to have friends that I can like legitimately like be with at the end of this. And it hurts to have to like be so open about like potentially having to vote someone and like have that rest on my shoulders for the rest of it. But at this point, it's options are so limited, and the end is coming so close that it's not that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. I don't think any of us would do that. I think we all have our own sets of boundaries, but there's certain parts where you have to do something that really hurts yourself because you have different goals in mind, and that's the unfortunate part.
All right. So at this time, it is the final four. So I just gotta ask, raise your hand if you feel that tonight is your last night here in on the Thrilltopia Island. Okay, one hand. All right. And if you had to compare this round to a roller coaster, what roller coaster would it be and why?
What's the roller coaster that goes really, really high and then just drops really, really quickly?
Tower of Terror.
Down.
Tower
I think
of
it's
Terror.
called
That one.
Sinkhole.
We've used that comparison too many times, though. We need something
Oh.
better.
That's how this round's been for me.
I'm going to give a very specific one. Shout out to anyone who gets this. There's a ride at Dorney Park called Hydra. And the thing that's like really like, I call it the stomach churning coaster because as you're going up before the ride actually starts, it does a corkscrew. And the corkscrew is incredibly slow. You're upside down in that corkscrew for like 2 or 3 seconds. Your stomach's in your throat, and the ride, like the official ride, hasn't even like started yet. Like it's about to go downhill, but it climbs up and puts you in that corkscrew, and it makes you feel like shit. That's my comparison.
All right. And with that, it is 9:45 EST. I'm gonna ask you guys to submit your votes. And with that, I will be right back.
Shout outs to my local church that did a Dorney Park trip every year, and that's why I love it so much. I went a lot. I'm actually overdue for a visit. It's a nice place. Pennsylvania's got some awesome amusement parks.
I guess shout out to motherfucking Rachel Roth. It's my podcast.
Oh, shout out Berto.
She won 2 seasons ago.
Shoutouts to Cody, who also won Wheel and is rooting for me to also get villain of the season.
I'll explain that when this tribal is over.
Hmm?
I
Okay.
sent a message into the Zoom chat and I said, Cody, you mean Jeanette, but I'll explain that after.
All right. Hello. Can everyone hear me? See me? We're all good here. All right. Last round was the last round to play any advantages. So when I read the final vote, that person will have just a couple of seconds to say their goodbyes, leave the Zoom, and leave the announcements chat. First vote. Sam. Second vote. Chris O. Third vote. Sam. Fourth vote. And the next person voted out of Distortion Survivor Thrilltopia and the sixth member of our jury, Sam. Sam, if you have any final words, now would be the time to say them.
I've had a blast playing this game. Thank you so much, production, for letting me play. It's been a tumultuous roller coaster of a ride of a game, but no, it's been really, really good. Good luck to all three of you. I can't wait to see whoever gets to the end. And yeah, may the best person win. Love you guys. See you later.
Sam, it's been amazing hosting you as always, but unfortunately, the tribe has spoken. You may leave the Zoom.
Bye.
Love you, Sam.
Love you guys.
Love you, Sam.
And with that, congratulations to the three of you on making the final three of Distortion Survivor. And I know you guys are not shocked by this, but you do have one more challenge. So I'm going to stop the stream and we're going to set up a time for tomorrow to do the challenge. It will be live. So let's